Okay, everybody, this is the last video for this handout. It's 6.1, Objective 4, Factor Polynomial by Grouping. And then it's a little bit long, but bear with me and then we'll be done with this section.
Now we'll practice factoring four-term polynomials. What is the first step to factoring any polynomial? And that is to look for a greatest common factor, other than 1 or -1, common to all four terms. Is there anything common to all four terms? You might be thinking x, it's here, here, but not there. There's a common factor of 3 here, 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 but not there. You can check, but there is no factor common to all four terms other than 1 or -1. Now we are going to factor this four-term polynomial by a method called grouping. Look at the first two terms, and let's talk about the greatest common factor of just the first two terms. Notice there's a common factor of 5x to the first two terms. So let's factor out that 5x. If I factor it from this term, I'm left with y minus this divided by this, that's 3. And you can check by multiplying. I'll let you check. And now let's look at the second pair of two terms. Is there a common factor to those two? The answer is yes, 6 is common. Now I'm actually going to factor out a -6 in the hopes that the binomial left will look like this binomial. So I'm going to factor out of these two terms only a -6. Be really, really careful with signs. This divided by -6, I have left y. Now, what is 18 divided by -6? That's -3. And always check by multiplying. This times this is this. And notice we have -6 times -3, which is +18, so I am okay on the signs. Now, once we've grouped and factored out according to the groups, look at what I'll call our two groupings. I'll call it two terms. Look at these two. Think of it as two terms. Is there a common factor? The answer is yes. There's a common binomial factor of y minus 3. If I factor it from this term, I have left 5x minus, if I factor it from this term, I have left 6. And notice I have factored now because I have written as a product. Now, how can you check? This is a binomial times a binomial. You can multiply. If you like the FOIL order of multiplication, you can certainly use that. But multiply this binomial by this binomial, you should get the original four-term polynomial. So we factored by grouping. Let's look at some steps we can take to factor a four-term polynomial by grouping. Step 1, group the terms in two groups of two terms so that each group has a common factor. Step 2, factor out the greatest common factor from each group. Step 3, if there is now a common binomial factor in the groups, factor it out. And step 4, if not, rearrange the terms and try these steps again. Let's try these steps as we try and factor this 1, 2, 3, 4-term polynomial by grouping. First, don't forget, is there a common factor common to all four terms? Actually, there is, isn't there? There's a common factor here of 3 common to all four terms. So let's first just factor out that greatest common factor of 3. I have left 2a squared plus 3ab squared plus 6 divided by 3 is 2ab plus 3b cubed. So this is a part of our factored answer. Just keep writing down that common factor of 3 that we factored out. Now let's concentrate on this four-term polynomial by breaking it into two groups of 2. Is there a common factor in this first group? The answer is yes, there's a common factor of a. And when I factor it out, I'll have 2a plus 3b squared. 2a plus 3b squared. Plus, that's this plus. Now, is there a common factor common to these two terms, this second group? The answer is yes, there's a common factor of b. When I factor it here, I'll have 2a left from plus 3b squared when I factor it from that second term in that second grouping. Now, still write the 3 down and concentrate on these two groups. By the way, at this point, have I factored the original polynomial or have I factored this 4-term polynomial? The answer is no, because remember, factoring means writing as a product. And notice this is still addition, so I haven't factored this yet. But let's continue. Notice there is a common factor here in these two groupings of 2a plus 3b squared. When I factor it from here, I have left a, plus when I factor it from here, I have left b. So now I factored, I have 3 times this binomial times this binomial. You can check by multiplying and you should get the original 4-term polynomial. That's how you factor 4-term polynomials by grouping. Let's take a moment and check our understanding of